Have you ever noticed the people who actually does something in their life, they never ask you if it's going to work. They just kind of lean in and say, all right, how are you making it work? But the moment you share that same dream with someone who's never been through what you're trying to go through, suddenly they become the expert in doubt, the expert in risk, an expert in everything that possibly could go wrong. They'll remind you of every failure, every person who tried and didn't make it, every reason you probably should stop and slow down. But something stands out. This what makes it interesting. They can never seem to find the time to tell you why it could work, why it is that. Why? I'll tell you why. Because your belief becomes a mirror, and some people don't want to see it. Another episode published, 2 views. I'm just sitting here thinking, what am I even doing this for? I'm recording, I'm editing, I'm putting this out into the world, and nobody is, let's just be honest, they're not listening. This doesn't make sense. I could have just wrote books, ran paid ads, done something that actually gives me a return, but that thought didn't sit right with me because deep down, I knew I wasn't just doing this for views. I was doing this for something I could see yet. Therefore, I kept going, even when it felt quiet, even when it felt like nobody cared. And what I didn't realize at the time was that those 2 views were actually doing something for me. They were actually sharpening me. Every episode made me think clearer, speak tighter, explain things better, to the point where people started telling me, well, you know what, ED? You really articulate yourself really well. Wait a minute, huh? At first, I didn't understand what they meant, but over time, it clicked. It wasn't talent. It was repetition. Actually, I was getting reps and I was recording episode after episode into what I felt like was silence. Therefore, I got better, not because people were watching, but because I refused to stop. And then I came across this quote. Nobody knows exactly who really said it first, but it stopped me cold in my tracks. The quote went something like this: don't take criticism from someone who you wouldn't take advice from. Oh, that's heavy, family. Again, don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. And that changed everything for me, because the same people who question why you keep going are usually the same people who never built anything themselves. So now, 2 views doesn't discourage me. It reminds me I'm still in the part of the story where most people throw in the towel, where most people call it quits, where most people say, I just can't take it anymore. Call me delusional if you want to. I just call it staying long enough to win. Principle number 1, you're not ready is often fear talking, not truth. See, when people tell you you're not ready, it sounds like guidance, but a lot of times it's just fear disguised as advice. The real question, though, is not if you're ready or not, is whether they've ever done what you're trying to do. A confident leader, though, doesn't just point out gaps. They help you close them. So they ask you a different question, or they lead you in a different way. They're really trying to develop you or basically not disqualify you from where they know you could go. Why does this matter? If you can't tell the difference, you'll either ignore real mentorship or stay in environments that have no intentions of growing you. Experiment with these actual tips. Ask, what specifically do I need to improve? A real leader will actually have an answer for you. Next one, watch behavior, not words. Development comes with support, not just blanket statements. Here's my professional advice, family. Constructive feedback creates a path forward. Dismissive feedback creates distance. I just asked you one question. Please know the difference. And once you start seeing that clearly, you'll stop listening to every voice. Principle number 2, God didn't give you the vision to watch you fail. Again, God didn't give you the vision to watch you fail. See, the vision that you've received isn't random. It's specific to you. Not everyone can see it, and not everyone is supposed to. When things get hard, you need conviction, not just motivation. This isn't about proving something to people. It's about fulfilling what is already placed inside of you. Why does this matter? When things get hard, and they will, when things get challenging, and they will. You need conviction. Again, not just motivation, because motivation fades, conviction stays. Experiment with these actionable tips. Reconnect daily with your why. When I say connect with your why, I want to know why you're not going to stop, why you make the decision to move forward, why we're talking forward momentum, not backwards progress. What does that look like? As I always give the example, when we drive with the front windshield. We don't drive with the rear view. We only glance and look at the rear view mirror just to know what was behind us. Okay, this is going to get good to me. Because see, your goals are in front of you, not behind you. Okay, I won't drain that anymore. Here's my next actionable tip. Build discipline so you don't rely on motivation. Here's my professional advice, family. This isn't about proving something to people. It's about fulfilling what was already placed on your life. Some call it a calling. And I'm just asking you to pick up the phone. And once you understand that, your perspective on every obstacle actually kind of changes. No, it does change. Principle number 3, criticism without context is just noise. Not all criticism is equal. If someone hasn't built what you're building, their opinion is perspective, not expertise. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from if they haven't walked the road you're on. Their opinion of your path doesn't qualify as a map. Why is this important? Listening to the wrong voices will have you second guessing decisions you were already confident in the beginning. Experiment with these actionable tips. Only take criticism from people with real experience in that space. Next one, separate emotional reaction from actual facts before adjusting your direction. Here's my professional advice. Feedback should refine your path, not redirect your purpose. Oh, this is good, family. Because if you don't filter that noise, it turns into frustration. And that is really what slows you down. Principle number 4, anger is fuel. Aim it correctly. Anger shows up when something really matters to you. The problem isn't the emotion, it's what you actually do with it. Leave it unchecked, it destroys. Direct it properly, it actually drives you. It actually guides you. It actually pushes you in the direction you need to go. I love what the founders of Home Depot, Bernie and Arthur, has said. They had a quote. They said, don't waste energy on revenge. Build something better. Build something bigger. Ooh, that's heavy, family. Why is this important? If you aim your energy at people, you slow yourself down. But if you aim your energy at building, you move forward. Experiment with these actual tips. When frustration hits, and it will, ask this question. Am I reacting or am I building? Next one. Turn emotional moments into productive action immediately. Create, execute, and improve. Here's my professional advice, family. Emotion is energy. Revenge wastes it. Creation multiplies it. And once you stop trying to prove people wrong, you start focusing on becoming undeniable. Principle number 5, the process is never wasted. You just can't see the return yet. See those quiet moments? Those 2 views I talked about, that empty row that feel like, nothing is happening. Nothing is going to make it work. But that's where you're being sharpened. That's where you're being equipped. See, every rep in the dark is building something you can't measure yet. That skill, that clarity, matter of fact, that confidence, that bold confidence is being created. Why is this important? If you believe the process is wasted, you'll quit before the return shows up. You'll quit before the receipt is provided. You'll quit before they can really see what they said you weren't. You can prove them all wrong. Experiment with these actionable tips. Focus on a skill development instead of immediate results. Next one, reflect weekly on what you're improving, not just what you're gaining. Here's my professional advice. The process always pays, just not on your timeline. And eventually, that invisible work becomes visible, everyone watching. Principle number 6, you don't need everyone to bleed. You need one person who won't quit. You don't need a crowd. You need consistency. And sometimes the consistency comes from being the only one that's still showing up. Waiting for support slows you down. Self-belief moves you forward. The thing is what And who are you going to believe in? Are you going to believe that you're destined and destined to be on this path that you're on? Why is this important? Because waiting for support slows you down. Self-belief moves you forward. Experiment with these actionable tips. Set daily non-negotiables that don't rely on others. Next one, track your own wins so you don't depend on external validation. Here's my professional advice. The most reliable support system you'll ever have is you. Because when it feels like nobody's there, that's when the real work actually starts. Principle number 7, success without struggle is luck, but success through struggle is a testimony. Ooh, wait, anyone can get lucky. But when you earn it through difficulty, your story becomes proof that it's possible. If it's possible, that means your journey isn't about results, it's about impact. But wait, what you go through today becomes what you teach tomorrow. Why am I able to teach what I go through? Because I've been through it. And when you go through something, that means you are stepping through, but you never forget the lesson. That means when you go through something, that means that you are passing by. And as you're passing by, you still don't forget the information. You actually retain it. Why is this important? Your journey isn't about results or outcomes. It's actually about impact on everyone watching you. Experiment with these actual tips. Document your journey so others can learn from it. Next one, reframe struggles as chapters in future stories, not evidence of failure. Here's my professional advice, family. What you go through today is one of those things you will have an opportunity to guide, to mentor, to lead someone else that is thinking about going down the journey that you went down. And when you understand that, your perspective on every hard season actually changes. Principle number 8, be prepared to be celebrated by the same people who said it wasn't possible. Oh, I'm about to ruffle some feathers. Because people will doubt you early and support you later. Not because you changed, but because the results become undeniable. They will show up at the launch. They will share your post. They will say, well, I always believed in you. Decide now how you will handle that moment. I hope you handle it with grace. I hope you handle it with so much grace that you don't come across bitter. I understand it's not easy, but I've just challenged you to take an opportunity to handle it with grace. Why is this important? If you're not prepared, you'll either become bitter or most of all, you become distracted. Neither serves the purpose or the mission that you're on. Experiment with these actionable tips. Decide now how you will respond when recognition comes. Next one, stay grounded in your mission, not in reaction to others. Here's my professional advice. Consistency should and can be your new identity, not validation. Because when success shows up, it definitely will bring some attention with it. But I ask you to stay disciplined and stay focused. Here's the truth, family. If you take nothing else from this episode, take this. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they leave too early. They leave in the quiet. They leave when it's uncomfortable. They leave when nobody is clapping, nobody's watching, and nobody seems to actually be doing what they said they were going to be doing, which is working. But wait, what they don't understand or realize, that's just part of you building yourself up. Every late night, every small win nobody notices, every moment you question yourself and you still keep going, that wasn't wasted. That was preparation. And the truth is, the version of you that is going to handle success doesn't get built when something or when everything seems to be working. It gets built when nothing looks like it is. So when people question you, and they will, when they don't understand what you're doing, and they will, and when they say you're not ready or it doesn't make sense, that's coming. You have to decide. It's not a choice. You have to make a decision, because if you're going to listen to the voices that never built anything like what you're building, or are you going to trust the process that's shaping you into what you need to become? Because at some point, this stops being about proving people wrong and it's about proving yourself right. Can you stay true to that? Can you endure that? Can you keep showing up day after day long enough to see it through? And then, and only then, when that moment becomes clear, when everything starts to connect, when the work finally starts speaking for itself, you won't need validation. You'll have the outcomes to show what you've done. So You can call it delusional if you want. I just call it staying long enough to win. If you're new to the episode, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, hey, listen, that just simply means Ed. Until next time.